Hey, buenos dias, Pastor Junior. Yeah, todavía son días because it's not 12 o'clock yet. No, but I have a word for you guys. So, taking my walk right here, real quick. But I was looking at Proverbs 14:29. Proverbs 14:29, right? Proverbs chapter 14, verse 29. Proverbs, right? So, who wrote Proverbs? No, pues King Solomon, right? King Solomon reigned after his father David, right? And he wrote the book of Proverbs. You know, once again, Solomon, he wrote the Song of Solomon in his younger years. He wrote the book of Proverbs in his middle ages, and then he wrote the book of Ecclesiastes in his older days, right? Ya de grande, right? When he's older. But Proverbs chapter 14, I'm looking at Proverbs 14:29. The title I'm going to give it is, I don't know, there's two titles that I'm thinking about. One title is the understanding heart. Y el otro is he who angers you conquers you, right? He who angers you conquers you, right? Because look at verse 29, what it says. You know, verse 29 says what? Proverbs 14:29, que dice? Well, it says that a patient man has great understanding, right? Ahí te va otra vez. Proverbs 14:29 says, a patient man has great understanding, but a quick-tempered man displays folly, right? But a quick-tempered man displays folly. Are you quick-tempered? Well, you display folly. ¿Y qué es folly? Well, folly is sinning. Folly is sinning and acting foolishness. Well, acting foolishly, right? ¿Qué es folly? Folly is sinning and acting foolishly. Acting foolish, right? Folly is considered what? Folly is considered a sin because it destroys those who possess it, right? So folly is sinning and acting foolishly, right? Folly is considered a sin because it destroys those who possess it, right? So it destroys those who possess it, who possess folly, right? Once again, what's our verse? Well, Proverbs 14:29 says, the patient man has great understanding, but a quick-tempered man displays folly, right? A patient man has great understanding, right? A patient man has great understanding. Why? Because it demonstrates wisdom. ¿Y qué es wisdom? ¿Qué es wisdom? Well, wisdom is the ability to apply knowledge to a given situation, right? Wisdom is the ability to apply knowledge to a given situation, right? Once again, Proverbs 14:29, a patient man has great understanding. Why? Because it demonstrates wisdom. Wisdom is the ability to apply knowledge to a given situation. But a quick-tempered man displays folly. Why? Because foolishness and because it produces broken relationships, right? Once again, a quick-tempered man displays foolishness because it breaks relationships, it destroys relationships. Amen. So once again, he who angers you conquers you, right? Just a word of exhortation. ¿Y qué es exhortation? Well, exhortation is an encouragement, and it's also a rebuke, right? An exhortation is a word of encouragement or a word of rebuke. So, ahí te va. If you're quick-tempered, right, then it's a rebuke, and if you're ¿cómo se dice? And if you're patient, man, then you have great understanding. Amen. Órale. Just a word of exhortation. God bless.